when they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
Good evening, and if you're just tuning in, you're listening to 105.3 and 107.7 out of the beautiful city of New Orleans to UFO Paranormal Radio Network, also known as United Public Radio Network, or just UPRN, to the thing at the foot of the bed. I am one of your co-hosts. I'll introduce myself, and then once I do my housekeeping things, I'll introduce you to my amazing friend and co-host, David, but you all know him. You guys, we weren't anywhere. I promise. Sometimes we get a little technical stuff. That's what happens with live, but I'm so glad you guys are waiting for us. We did leave you notes in the comments, but if you weren't on our channel, you might not have seen it. So you guys, if you like what you see, first of all, I guess I should tell you who I am. My name is Lorilei Potvin. I'm a Canadian spiritual medium, a crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, a spiritual teacher and mentor, budding animal communicator. I'm also well-versed in the paranormal and near-death experiences, and I'm a nurse. I'm also the host of my own show right here on UPRN on Monday nights called The Angel Rock from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, the network has their own TV channel. So we are streaming tonight, and I also stream The Angel Rock. We're going to try it for this month in January on Roku. So you're going to go to the channel store. You're going to type in UFO space P as in paranormal. There's a drop-down list. You're going to look. I think we're about the third or fourth one down. You're looking for UFO space paranormal and United Public Radio, and that's where you can see us. Now, if you want to join in the comments, I know we've got Kathy Hanley Little. We've also, I think Love Is over in the UK thought she had missed us. I left her a comment that, no, you haven't missed anything. We'll be with you shortly. What you can do, because 80% of our audience apparently is audio only. So if you want to join in the convo, all you have to do is go to UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network on YouTube or on Facebook. There's a page. We're streaming also to my co-host David's YouTube channel, The Spirit Experience, and his group by that name. We're also streaming to my YouTube channel, which is The Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin. We're streaming tonight to Instagram on The Angel Rock, to Canada's Most Haunted. So you got a lot of choices. I always forget to add this too. Don't ever forget, if you pop in at the last minute of the show or you've missed the live show, there is always a replay of all our shows on the network. Anywhere where podcasts and talk radio are carried, we are carried, even down to the most obscure apps. UPRN streams to every country around the world, so we've got a large global audience. There was something else I was going to add, Dave, and I'm trying to think of it. I'll probably think of it while you're talking. But one thing I'm going to throw in, and then David's going to tell you all about it, is we've done it. It's ready. It's tonight. A lot of people are in there already. We've got the group ready for the thing at the foot of the bed. So on to Dave. He can tell you all about him. And a group.
Hi, you guys. My name is David Hanzel. I am a spiritual medium and a channel. My group, if you want to know more about me, my webpage is theywhispertome.com. Other than that, Lorilei is absolutely 100% correct, as always. Lorilei got her butt in gear, and she got the group done because I've been so busy, and Lorilei did this one for me. So great thank you to Lorilei for starting that group up for us. So if you go to Facebook, you can look up the thing at the foot of the bed, and you'll see our picture, and you can join that group. And within that group, you can give us show ideas. You can ask questions about episodes. You can post scary videos, scary stories, anything you'd like. We might use them on the air, possibly. We'll post things that Lorilei downloads and brings on the show. She'll try to post them in the group so you can see what we're talking about if you're someone who is just listening. So please, we just started it today. I think there's maybe 40 people jumped in real quickly. I think there's like 40 or something people now.
I started it a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't set. And after Dave and I were talking off and on through voice messaging. And then after we finished, I went, Oh crap, if we talk about the group tonight, like it didn't have the questions and the rules and all the stuff it needs for a group. So that's what I did.
Wow. So that's okay. It's in there and it's going now. So that's what matters. And then you guys, just so you know, the Spirit Experience, if you're watching this from my YouTube, the Spirit Experience, I'm going to be figuring out maybe to go once a week in that YouTube and just have guests on to just talk spiritual stuff, do readings, and just have a good time. Lorilei, of course, will be a guest at some point. Maybe Jonathan used to be on here, other friends of ours. I'm inviting spooky people to come on with me just so we can talk more about this stuff and another form.
I think YouTube has a new function now that we could actually go and stream together at the same time, I think, from our channels.
Oh, cool. That would be awesome too. Yeah. So make sure you guys join the Spirit Experience and join the Angel Rockers on YouTube. Make sure you get in those two groups. If you are coming on, if you are watching from one of our Facebook groups, above the post you're watching it is a clickable link. If you click on that link and give StreamYard permission, your name will show up if you want us to see your name. If you don't want us to see our name and remain anonymous, that's just fine too. We love anonymous people as much as we love anonymous people.
I'm laughing because I didn't read your comment till just now. Dave says, see you soon. Tech difficulty says we are being held captive by the Loch Ness Monster.
We got to keep it spooky somehow.
Well, we had lots to talk about, we thought, tonight. Like we said, I hate the term conspiracy. If you watch the Angel Rock, you know I don't like that term. I like to call it truth seeking. There was some stuff about jinn. Then there's the Notorious that started January 1st. We're not calling it aliens, but there was something going on at the Bayside Mall in Miami, Florida, January 1st. Something crazy. So I don't know where you want to start, Dave.
Well, I was going to say, just so everybody knows, sometimes Lorilei and I agree on something, and sometimes we don't agree on something, but it doesn't matter. We just give you 2 points of opinion sometimes. And most times we pretty much actually do agree on most things. We have a few things we waddle around with, but so you guys know, you are also, if we say something that doesn't jive with you, it does. You go by what you feel, and you're okay.
Absolutely.
So just know that, if we say something you don't like, just pass it by. Like if you don't agree with us, that's just fine. That's just how we play this game in the spiritual world, because there's too many people who are hating on each other and all these different things for not believing in something or not having something, or not having the same belief. And it really doesn't matter, as long as nobody's getting hurt, you're not hurting yourself or you're not hurting others physically or mentally. I think you're okay to believe whatever in the heck you want to.
And I agree, but we say the same thing when we give readings. And I always caution people, because I do know that a lot of people take very seriously, and we want you to take it seriously when we're giving you what we believe we're getting from spirit, but we're not 100% accurate. We are humans. We strive to be, and we can usually hit the nail on the head. But I always tell people, someone tells you they're giving you an answer, 100% accuracy, run, because no human being is 100% accurate.
None. No one ever is. I think the last time I tested it out, I was about 85%, but that was a couple of years ago. Maybe I'm better. I don't know. But I always say,
never tested, never. So
if you have somebody and they say they've been tested and they're about anywhere between 80 and 90%, you're good. You got someone decent, because even though like we are both aware that everything we do is not 100%. Can it be? Oh yeah, absolutely. We've both said many things to people that turned out to be 100% accurate quite a few times, but there are the times where it's not. So remember, if we ever tell you something, or if you ever get a reading from anybody, even outside of us, if they say something that they said is very, very accurate and this is going to happen, if you feel otherwise, then don't worry about it. Just don't.
That's the other thing I'm going to say with that, Dave, is we have free will and we are able to manifest and create. So if somebody tells you something is going to happen with 100% certainty, we've seen it. We've seen people without judgment, but I've seen people tell people stuff that's going to happen. And it's not necessarily good stuff. And then people get scared and they get really sad. And what I want people to realize is you have the power to change anything you want. You don't want it to happen. It doesn't have to happen, especially if somebody's telling you it. But just remember sometimes too, if say you feel it, you run into it, or you know it might happen, you're dreading it, you don't want it to happen. You know what? We can't see the bigger picture. Sometimes something is meant to happen in that scenario. So to either move something out of the way to make something bigger or better, or maybe you're meant to meet somebody in that situation. So you know what the best advice is? Take what resonates with you, leave the rest.
Leave the rest. Yep, and leave the rest. So you guys,
like it's your last day on earth.
yep.
Because think about it. I'm not being morbid, but you know, I've heard the question, I've been asked it, that if this was your last day on earth, how would you live it? Why not live every day like that? Every morning's a new beginning, and nobody is promised tomorrow. But Kathy, hi, Facebook user, hi all.
Well,
So
I was just about ready to say, yeah.
So Hanley, you want to read it, Dave?
Yeah, Kathy said something happened there in Miami, over 300 cops and 4 helicopters over the mall. We both did some homework and watched a lot of stuff. We went back and forth in text messaging today and went back and forth and looked at that. We wanted to talk about some of the things like that. If you would ask my opinion on the whole thing, I don't really have an opinion because there's a lot of missing things. I will say this. I do not lean towards the popular opinion on YouTube right now at all. I really don't.
And I am of the thought something happened there. Now, this is where we get into conspiracy theory, which I don't like, because if you look at them, where conspiracy theory originated back in the early 60s when JFK was unalived, that's where it came from the agencies involved with that. When you look into the history of it, I prefer to call it truth seeking. And my belief is the truth will always rise to the surface. Am I calling it aliens? No, because Dave and I were on the same page about some things. Something went down there. There was also something else going on. We can't say their name because it'll get the YouTube algorithm going. But their little black book was released to the public, same time. So was this a distraction? Was it feeling out to see what people, are they ready for this type of stuff? If it's UFOs and aliens, I'm not saying it is. But the one thing David and I definitely are in agreement with, you know what, somebody had to have taken a video. Somebody had to, and nobody has a video. Nobody.
Yeah, we went through this, and you know, this is what I thought, Kathy Haley, when people were saying, well, this is odd for all those cops to be there and all that. If you watch some of the videos, there were a lot of kids fighting. There was a big, huge group of people getting down. You
saw that on the news. Now, my problem is from hearing, and I'm going to stop you right there for a sec. Okay, that was the official story that was out there. I've seen a video. Can I prove that this guy's dad was there, that this guy's dad was a sheriff, this guy's dad is a cop? He's running to be a sheriff in the county there. No, but he did film his dad, and his dad just kept saying, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. But most police officers will tell you that about anything they're investigating. Okay?
Yeah, and they're trying to.
I'm not done. Just one sec. With the news, I take that with a healthy dose of skepticism. I'm not telling you to do that. That's why David prefaced the conversation with that. But I think we all need to take a good look at everything, do research, and then make up your own mind.
Do research. Don't ever take thing by one video, because once again, they're in that place. And this is why I really am tending towards this is just all crap. Is because of this. It's a mall. Somebody proposed, they heard a gunshot. Now, we all know that in the States right now, holidays are kind of on high alert at times. So this is the first of the year, and they think they hear gunshots in a mall and there's fighting. So all those policemen maybe showed up because they thought, now this is going to be something big. Maybe we're going to have to call, something, who knows? But
I did see no way that Miami does not have a SWAT team.
Yeah. I don't see. Yeah, they would have a SWAT team, and they didn't call in a SWAT team. It was just cops. But it was the whole thing for me with that whole ordeal is everybody says, oh, look at the 10-foot aliens walking by. Okay, it's a fuzzy picture once again, because I agree with the old thing. That was a mall full of kids in Florida. How many of those kids do you think did not have a cell phone on them? You know, somebody would have got something on a cell phone, and nobody's putting anything out there. Hey, could there be something behind all this? Yes, absolutely. There could be. Who knows? I'll say this, though. I think the thing that gets me most angry in the community is everybody is painting anything alien to be fear-based because that's what sells. It doesn't, we don't know.
I'm going to say that. I'm glad you brought that up. You know why? Because nobody was hurt.
Yeah, nobody was.
Not when it was with the alien story. Nobody was hurt by the supposed aliens. Nobody was
hurt by the people having the fight. So if you guys are going to be afraid of people,
there was a fight, but it went from having 4 kids to, on the news clip you sent me, massive group of kids. I've heard all different stories. The best thing I would like to do, so if you're out there listening and you were at that mall, reach out to us and let us know what you found.
Yeah, it was odd though. I saw the one clip. There was like 20 something kids all in a clump just kicking each other and doing all this. I'm like,
but even 20 kids doesn't need that many police officers.
That's what I said though. It's the states. They may have overreacted to a situation. Because here,
that can't be the only place in a big city of Miami, which I have been to many times, that has, and I'm not saying anything bad against Miami, because where I live, with only 100,000 people, we're known as the MURDER capital. Be careful with those words on YouTube, of Canada per capita. So what I'm saying is, to have that many police officers, there had to be something going on. And you can't tell me that, especially I agree, over the holidays, you're going to get some activity. It doesn't matter where you are, right? You pull every police officer, what's going on for your protection and help with the rest of that big city of Miami?
It is Florida. Have you read up on Florida lately, though?
When I know about Florida. I have friends I've told you in Florida. I know about Florida. It's
for me personally, it's not my most desirable place to want to go or visit at this point, but it's I think with that situation, I agree with Kathy. She said, I don't believe the videos of aliens. Videos of aliens looked phony. They really did. I sent something to Lorilei, which I thought was hilarious. I saw it on TikTok. And it was a lady in the kitchen, and somebody yells out, "Hey, there's a ghost it's a ghost in the backyard." And she goes, "Hold on, let me get my phone." And she grabs her phone and she puts her hand in some Vaseline and yeah, that's what it seems like. Everybody's got a shaky photo. Unless you're extremely terrified, I don't see.
Okay, but here's something else to think about, because I've often wondered this too. Do you potentially think, if it's a ghost or something paranormal or an entity, whatever it could be, they've got a different energy frequency and vibration, including you can measure them with the K2 and many different devices, the EMF. Is the EMF doing this to their devices? Can't do it to everyone. I'm just saying, because right?
I mean, there's always a chance, but I've heard, I don't know. I'm trying to shy away in I have not looked up as many things on YouTube as I have lately. And I found more and more, except for a few, like we both talk. Lorilei talks about Nuke's top 5. I like Nuke's top 5 because they just pretty much present the stuff and that's it. You know, he might do a little something creepy in the background, but it's supposed to be a ghost show. So we've got to do something, but everything is pretty much watch it or something. But I've seen other ones. That are like, this happened and this is what this is. And you have to believe it because we just showed you a 30-second clip. No.
Thanks, Michelle. Michelle's here. I'm going to jump in. She's in Australia. She says she's at work popping in. She's wishing you all a good show. Right back at you, Mish. Hi, Sandra. Okay, you know why I'm laughing? Okay, so we were even talking about possibly Jinn, because I seen this interesting 8-minute video clip. So I sent this guy to David, because if David watched it, I don't know if he got a chance, but he'll love him. And I was peeing myself laughing. So this guy's on. What's that?
The second guy. I watched both Jinn videos, but I only got to see a little bit of the second guy.
Oh, you had to watch.
Hilarious.
I'm gonna look at the name of this channel, you guys.
He made it enjoyable to watch that.
Okay, so it said, okay, I'm going to review. I'm on the wrong thing here. He said, I'm going to review this video because I'm hearing all about Jinn and stuff. So I'm going to review it. I'm not doing it justice. He did it much more eloquently. So he picks this video that was put out the top 5 terrifying videos of Jinn caught on camera. The first one, and again, looks like it was shot with a potato is the way we talk about these videos. I've seen it many times in our field. They call it looking like it was shot with a potato. And there's this man outside. It's all grainy, it's black and white, and he's crawling around on his arms and legs, or sorry, hands and knees, back and forth, and he's pacing. And they're saying, this is a Jinn. They got this really scary, spooky music. So what does this guy do? He grabs like going to the circus clown music and goes, no, doesn't seem so scary now, does it? And he was right. And he goes, the guy's just jumping around, crawling around, like, how do we know? Maybe he's got special needs. Maybe he had a little bit too much fun at the local establishment where you can have those kind of drinks. Like, it could be anything. But the whole video was like that.
It's very true. That's a lot of people who watch videos on stuff. Remember, sometimes, and I'm glad you brought up this point, and this might seem really weird to me. Sometimes when it says, don't watch these scary videos at night, I take off the music. I just watch them silently. Mm-hmm. And the reason is because music in the background of anything, music charges emotions depending on the music. So just like Lorilei said, you could take a video of something and put clown music to it, it'll be funny, or you can put scary to it and it'll look spooky. I've had people just like take a picture of their cat looking around and they put scary music in the background, and then they put up in the title, cat sees a ghost. No, it was a cat looking around and you put scary music behind it, you idiot. I mean, that's the kind
of... But this was, okay, so this was called, I'll try and remember to post this, the Apostate Prophet, it's called. And the whole thing was like this. Like, it was just, there was no way there was a hint of a Jinn there. I'm sorry, but there wasn't. Now, the one he had a little trouble with was the second or third one. This lady in a Chinese convenience store, something fell off the shelf. And of course, being a nice person, she bends over to put it back. And all of a sudden, as she puts it on the shelf, she looks like she's overtaken something, making her almost look like she's having a seizure. Then she starts jerking all around a lot. People are trying to help her. She's on the ground, and all of a sudden it looks like through the camera there's this wave of energy and things are kind of moving and blowing and what have you. There were some crazy things happening. Now, I noticed he didn't have a lot of explanation for it, but what he did say, and I have to give it to him, is he said, I did some research. I couldn't find out, where did this come from? Where was this taken? What was the store? Because we have to ask these questions, because in this day and age with technology, anything is possible.
Oh, yeah. Especially now. Anything, as a rule for me, anything I watch, I'm going to investigate. I will never believe it just at face value. You can't now, because they're too good at it. I mean, some of the stuff that they're putting out, I have to say, is really good. But some of it's funny. But
this guy made this whole video funny. He really, really did. Because the last one, he finally found out what it was all about. It was just a clip of this lady. And please forgive me, I didn't get a chance to look up the head of a mosque, the head religious elder, if you will. Mm. And he's in there and he's saying prayers in his language. And the lady's smacking him and smacking him and smacking him. And then he says, I did some research. Hey, Jonathan Keyworth. And he ends up finding out that this is actually a 10-minute long video. And these women were all in the mosque because they thought they were overcome with jinn. And so he was doing a ceremony, but then he had to make it funny. And he wasn't being disrespectful. But the lady that was supposedly most severely affected, she kept getting in his face. Like he said, she was hitting him. And I don't know what he did to her. In the video, he goes in her face like this, right? He doesn't really spit at her. And he goes, this woman's face, she was absolutely affronted. And so he focuses in on it, and then he focuses back, and it was like, oh my God. And I'm not doing it justice. I was being myself laughing. Again, no gin. So I'm not
No,
saying
Jen.
gin don't exist. All I'm saying is these were very poor examples of something.
Yeah, Laura Lee had sent me earlier about, and it's sad. And
Hi,
what country
Jen.
was it in? Was it Islam or something where they were taking the people for other money?
Oh, okay. So this is how this discussion started. So everybody, we're going to say hi to Jen. That's the first time that I know she said hi. And David, you know her because she was the winner of Carrie Lynn Shellhorn's 12 Days of Giving, and she joined us on December 22nd.
Oh yeah, hi Jen.
Winner. So welcome. We did say hi to Sandra. I don't know if she heard us. Michelle's going back to work, and Jonathan's here. And so there we are. So this is how the Jen thing started. Was not looking for this. It came up in my YouTube feed, and it was this guy, and he was, God, now I got to look it up. He came up, and he didn't believe in anything like this, and he's over in the UK, and he was an investigative, journalist, and he was very upset with the fact, and rightfully so, that there were religious leaders from the mosques and stuff charging thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to people to supposedly remove jinn. So he ended up finding this gentleman who does it for free. And he wanted to find out, what are you doing? What are you doing for free? Why are you doing it for free? And it's an 8-minute documentary clip. And the host of this documentary did not believe in anything like this, right, Dave? So you feel free to, I'm going to find it. So feel free to fill it in while I find it here.
Oh, while she's looking that up, for those who don't know what a jinn is, who are watching, because a lot of people
I guess you
don't.
should have said that.
Yeah. So here's the definition of a jinn for you. In Islamic theology and folklore, a jinn is a supernatural being made of smokeless fire. Jinn are believed to have free will and can be good, evil, or neutral. They are mentioned in the Quran and are often associated with tales of magic, wish granting, and supernatural occurrences in Middle Eastern and Islamic cultures. When they talk about wish granting, Disney paints a very poor picture of a jinn because that's a genie. The
but I have a doctor. I was telling you that about this, and I still wish I had her. And I was seeing her. I have chronic pain, so I had to see the doctor once a month. And I have her to thank for being able to do podcasting because I could not sit before this. Anyways, I've really gotten close with her and gotten to know her for quite a few years when I was living in my previous home with all the severe paranormal activity. So one day I was the last patient in, she was still there. We used to talk shop with me being a nurse or being a doctor, stuff like that. And I said, hey, I had to talk to you about something. So I sort of started to tell her what was going on at our house. And she goes, and she was from the Middle East. She's actually from Pakistan. She was Muslim. And she looked at me and she said, Lorilei, why didn't you tell me about this sooner? And I said, because I didn't want you to 5150 me, meaning lock me up in the mental ward. And she goes, oh, no. She said, okay, so I know about this stuff. She said, when I was a little girl in Pakistan, she said, this is a very real thing over there. She told me all kinds of cool stuff from over there that they've seen, including energy healing, all kinds of stuff. Anyways, I digress. So she said they ended up one day, they thought they had a jinn. She goes, a jinn, she said to me, translation would be, you might call it a genie. And she said exactly what you said, Dave, but we know it to be that some are good and some are not good. Yeah. She said, we thought we had a jinn because she said it was crazy. There were pillows flying around the house. Like there was a lot of stuff moving. A lot of bad stuff was going on. And she gave me actually the name of a prayer, like a recorded meditation on YouTube. I tried it. It didn't really make any difference one way or the other, but I appreciated that she tried to help and she didn't look at me like I had 10 heads.
Yeah,
but
they're crazy.
She did. That's what she said. You might call it a genie over here. So we got Des here, Jonathan's wife. Hi. Kathy Hanley says trickster. Well, not always a trickster. Not always a trickster. And I'm going to tell you, I was trying to find this and I wasn't able to find it. And I've seen it on Nuke's Top 5. I've also seen this guy investigate over on Snapchat Live over in the Middle East. I have seen some crazy footage from lives over there. They usually look like shadow people, but there's one video in particular I'll never forget. And it was being streamed live. That's why it was sent. It wasn't streamed live on Nuke's Top 5, but this footage was shared with him. And the gentleman, they were going to these abandoned buildings that are supposedly haunted over in the Middle East. And he's in a cupboard and he's examining and looking around. Strange things are going on. Things are falling over. And he's constantly saying the prayers that are needed of protection with Allah over with the Islamic faith. And he sees this piece of paper and he pulls it out of a cupboard and it's red colored. And as he goes to open it, I kid you not, I swear to God, this thing started on fire. He dropped it immediately. It was crazy. There was all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Heavy stuff was rolling and flying, and I don't know what it was. And then there's two of them that do it live. They're not related. The other one, he's caught all kinds of what he would refer to as jinn. I would call it possibly a shadow person. It with a lot of energy. So is it a tulpa because they believe in that? I don't know.
I don't know. In all honesty, I'm not saying these things don't exist, the jinn thing, but in all honesty, I have never, ever, ever in my life come in contact with a trickster spirit.
I have.
The only trickster spirits that I know, which wasn't a trickster, but one of my guides used to present himself as a fox, but he's actually both. And the fox is supposed to be like the trickster. And but I've never been tricked by him. They've never tried to.
Well, trickster isn't something that will try and trick you, really. Why it's called a trickster, it's got poltergeist activity, meaning it's got a hell of a lot of energy, that it does nasty stuff and feeds off the fear because it scares people.
But it gives, that's why some people say they get tricksters when they play a Ouija board, because it purposely gives them wrong information.
That can be it, yeah.
But I don't know. I just never came across one. It doesn't mean anything. It just means.
I pray you never do.
Yeah, I never would come across anything like that. And because even now when I do readings, people always ask me, do you say a prayer of protection when you do readings? I used to a lot, and I do have something I recite in my head, but I'll tell you this, and for me, it's implied. Every time I do something.
What I've been doing is listening to, I kind of picked this up the animal communication course that I had taken at the beginning of December with Julie Jean Bassett. And she gave us a 5-minute heart chakra, and heart chakras for people, chakra energy, invisible energy portals, if they running through the core of your human body, basically, but there's hundreds more. Like everywhere, they're finding them all over the human body. Animals have them, what have you. So I was just talking to someone about this recently when I was doing a reading with them, that I think the easiest and best way, if you think of everything being energy, like attracts like energy, I think love is one of the most powerful emotions we can have. So
it's actually it is the emotion.
Okay, so where I'm going with this is, I usually, what I've been doing while I'm getting ready and doing whatever I am, doing a bit of meditation, I've been turning on about a 5 to 7 minute heart chakra meditation. Ooh. Just letting it play in the, it's making a big difference because it gets you into that space. Now, do we need it? No, but since we do a bit of meditation before there's preparation, I have had people message me at the last minute and get very angry that I'm not available and can drop everything to do a reading because they're available and want to book a reading. That actually, the one time it happened, I was out for groceries anyways, but it takes energy to do a reading. And you do have to know how to manage that and get into that kind of space. So it works beautifully. So I've been trying that. Mm-hmm. I don't worry about protection so much anymore. It's implied, and
it is implied after a while. Don't you agree? After a while, you've done it so many times. It's like, really? Are you gonna let crap come in? Because they're like, no, we won't.
You know what I want.
It's like, you already know. I've said it 50 million times. You're probably sick of me saying.
You know what I teach people though, like even with a grounding exercise, that once you've done it for so many times and you know it like the back of your hand, and I always tell people this too when I'm teaching them, is they'll message me and say, well, can I do this or can I do that? So my guidelines are, if you're doing it from a place of love, you're doing it for your highest good or somebody else's, and you're doing it in service to for others, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong. And we are creators, we are manifestors, we are powerful. Our brain is so powerful. So once you've got the routine down pat, you can pick any word you want. And I always use something crazy just to make it an example. It doesn't have to be this. You could just in your mind say run dill pickle, and your body will know, your mind will know, it will know energetically. It'll run the whole system for you. You can visualize it quickly if you want, or you don't have to go through all the motions of this.
That I'm not changing the subject, but speaking of energy, I'm gonna tell you guys, and so you guys, anybody who doesn't do what Lorilei and I do, I always say that mediums, healers, all that, we never know anything. So we are constantly learning. Spirit is constantly giving you things as you go along. Well, one of the things that I always work on is I work on my clairaudience. My clairaudience has been strong since a child, but there's certain things that I want to achieve. So in order for me to achieve them, I really got to work that muscle. Well, I was doing these meditation things where during the meditation, they play the ohms or the hertzes, and they started at 10,000 or 5,000. So they went 5,000, 10,000, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60,000 ohms. Okay. 10,000 ohms. Yeah, it's right there. I hear it. 20, I hear it. Perfect. 30, perfect. 40, I could hardly hear it. 50, really loud. 60, really loud. I went and I was sitting there going, now I want to figure out why the 400s come in so soft to me. And it's really odd. And I'm looking that up now. I love when stuff like that happens.
Because yeah, but that's what you have to do is experiment with it. And I can tell you right now, like I said, I've just started bringing this heart-centered chakra meditation in before I'm going to do a reading. Do I have to? No. Does it help? Yes, if it's going to make anything easier, absolutely. But I can tell you from 5 years ago, I nowhere near believe what I believed 5 years ago, but I think that that's kind of what life is, right?
Yeah.
Like I was listening to something last night, completely unrelated, and this person's revealing a lot of information out there that's once been hidden, and it's just about well-known celebrities. And it was something he said that really resonated with me. They were going, well, why not just put it all out there? And the person that was doing it said, well, you can't give filet mignon to a baby. And he wasn't calling his audience a baby. What he was saying is it needs to come out in little bits and little bits and little bits, so you can start to digest and learn how to eat it, if you will, with the steak analogy, till you build up to the steak. That's kind of like what this is, I think, with anything in life, right? We start little, change, and grow.
Because I get new stuff that comes up for me, and when it comes up, it gives me very little, and then I'm like, oh wait, I got to look this up more. And it's like I can't find it anymore. I'm like, why did you give me this? And they're like, this is just all you can handle, Dave. At this moment, we'll give you more as we go on. And I do believe in the spoon-fed theory. Nicole Thomas Rhine. I just watched a podcast yesterday about the importance of heart chakra and raising the vibration around you. That's absolutely correct. You always have to, your heart chakra does have to be in line. I mean, as Diane Brighton was saying, even in mediumship, the heart chakra and the crown and the third eye chakra, all those three. I actually use an eighth chakra above my head as well. Not always, but depending on what I'm trying to, I do it depending on. My intention is strong, let's say, if I'm trying to connect to beings outside the world. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go way up here.
I think perfect alignment, though. We have chakras for a reason, or these, as I call them, invisible energy centers running through the core of our body. Now, my belief doesn't have to be yours, like the way we started the show, right? You guys take what resonates and leave the rest. But I believe the ideal situation for a human being to be in is we are utilizing that chakra system. We are completely grounded to earth, which I call Gaia, to the center of the core of the earth. The energy connects straight up through the chakras up above our head, straight to source or whatever your belief system is, right? And everything's in perfect alignment. And then around us, we have the duality, right? We've got hot, we've got cold, we've got night, we've got dark, or you get into the perfect yin yang, if you will. Now, again, nothing's perfect on this earth, but I think that ideally that would be the perfect scenario for a human being to be connected to both earth and source, your guides, energy, everything.
Yeah, and if you ever have problems getting your chakras aligned and you don't know crap about chakras, but somebody told you need to align them, lean up against a tree and breathe with it. That tree will align your chakras.
Visit me. That's what Crystal Reiki is.
Or Crystal Reiki, anything like that. But if you need a quick pick me up, leaning against a tree, you'll do it every time. Lorilei, do you remember a while back? It was going around. It was trendy. It was a couple years ago. People were going, this is how you can get rid of your chakras. Do you remember that? Oh my God. It was.
Or if your chakra's not moving, your chakras don't stop moving. If they did,
they don't stop. Yeah.
Dead.
I know. But they were talking about getting rid of your chakras. And this is one of the videos. And I was like, okay, I understand that belief, but I said, you're basically telling us that by getting rid of our chakras, I said, we might as well not have a head. So I think we can run around the earth without a head. We don't need it.
Some people do.
It's the same thing. You have to have an energy center in your body. Otherwise, it's just not going to work right.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Hola, Roger. We got Julie Jean Bassett. I swear to God, I call you in telepathically. I was just talking about you before you got here. All good, of course. Yes, you guys are all on the ball with this. So those of you just popping in, actually, I guess I should do our station identification.
Yeah, go ahead.
I swear this is the fastest 2 hours of my week. And I love doing this with you guys and David. So, you guys, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the thing at the foot of the bed on 105.3 and 107.7 out of the beautiful city of New Orleans. And I think Mardi Gras is coming up there soon too. Otherwise, I'm your host, Lorilei Potvin, and this is my host, who's probably picking up our third co-host, it possibly looks like, David Hanzel. We've been all over the place. If you're just joining us, we touched on what was going on in Miami. We didn't come to a consensus. I don't think there is a consensus to come to because there's just too many unanswered questions. Never mind, as Dave sent me the meme of the lady that thought she saw a ghost. I'm going to say it quickly, and it's so funny. I'm not going to do it justice. And so the lady said, oh, hang on. I'm just going to grab my camera and take a picture. And she's got a jar of Vaseline, and she's rubbing the Vaseline on the lens of her camera because that's how most videos seem to look.
Yeah, that's how they all look. Yeah, so you guys, we're just kind of talking about right now. We're just talking because we just watched a bunch of things where people are misidentifying possibly, or just how people feel about like YouTube videos and ghost videos and paranormal videos. For one, I stopped scrolling. There's a lot of TikTok people that I started unfollowing, not because they suck or that I mean, but all their content, when somebody is posting paranormal content, if their paranormal content is 95% fear and 5%, oh, we don't know what this is, then you know what? I pretty much think, you're just trying to sell fear at this point. Because there are some people who have some really good stuff. Actually, I wanted to talk about that one video. I don't know if you have it lined up, but you showed me that you sent me a video today and you said go in about 12.
Oh, that was Nuke's top 5. Now, was that not creepy?
Like he said, I agreed with him. There's a girl in a hospital, and basically they have the mirrors on the corner where you can see down each side of the hallway. They're like
I didn't download it, but I'll get it for you. Actually, I don't need Facebook. I need YouTube.
Yeah, but these girls are looking down and there's this black figure on there. There's this dark figure. Now, like he said on the video, he said, I'm not saying that it couldn't be easily debunked.
You missed it. Not the dark figure. You missed it. No,
I
no,
saw
no,
the
no.
one in the door. The
No,
door.
there's
Oh,
one
the
in
creepy
the
thing
door.
on the floor.
Ugh, that's
That's
what you get goosebumps about. Hi, Faye.
that's the
Roger.
one. That's
Ugh,
the one that
I have
the whole
goosebumps.
video was good, and I thought that is
Ugh.
creepy because I can see that happening. But the little dude on the floor crawling, I watched it several times.
David, things like that exist. They do. I'm
I
telling
know,
you,
but
they
I
do.
watched it several times, and it doesn't match the same movement as the dark figure.
It's not the same creature. David, I am sorry.
No,
I
I don't mean
strongly
that. I don't
disagree.
mean.
Having
I
worked
don't
in
mean that.
hospitals, working nights, some of the stuff I
Yeah.
have seen and I have experienced, I am telling you. And like I said, we got positive, we got negative, we got good, we got bad.
There
If
was
people are not
there's a
all
cut
thinking
in
about,
the film. There's a
just
cut in
for,
the film.
yeah,
Only on that one part. There's one cut.
I'm
I'm not saying that
okay.
that's what it
Whether
was.
it's fake or not, things like this exist, and this is why I believe it. Never mind, I've lived it, not by choice. The
Yeah.
thing is, right, not everybody's running around thinking about fluffy bunnies and love and light and things like this. There's a lot of, not a lot, but there are twisted people out there. There's people that think dark things and do dark things. If everything is energy, and our words and our thoughts and our emotions are some of the most powerful, and energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but transferred from one place to another, that energy has to go somewhere.
I know all that.
It
I'm
has
just
to.
saying for a 2-minute video, I can't in my consciousness say that was real.
I say 100% that was real in my mind. You don't have to concur. You don't have to agree.
Oh no,
And
no,
I
yeah.
tell you,
If
I have
you
lived a
saw something
horror
like
show.
that, then you know it's. If you saw something like that in real time or something, of course you go, of course that's real. I've seen it in real time. I never have. So to me, I have to say, I don't know what that is. I know those dark shadows though. Those were scary. Those are the things that scared me. The little thing on the floor didn't.
The thing on the floor scared me because the shadow that I looked at, we're going to play this. I'm trying to find
Are you
his
looking for it?
story on
Yeah.
here, is because I don't know the first video. I'm going to play it for you guys. The first video, it almost looked like the person was wearing cow pajamas. They were really cute. They were white with little black spots. And then the video that you're talking about where they caught them again and the mirrors they're talking about, it may be hard to understand if you're listening, but watching, you've seen them in a hospital and they're usually at corners or wherever. And it's like a round mirror. So it can show you, say, if you're at a crossroads or there's hallways intersecting, you can see if someone else is coming so that you don't bang into them. So that's where this video was caught. But so the gentleman, or I don't want to say gentleman, it was in person shaped, whatever it was. The next one I saw, it looked like they were wearing a house coat and pajamas. So to me, I wonder if it was a patient that maybe passed for whatever reason.
In the third door. Yeah, I saw that too. It was different than the shadows. There were
That
three different
creepy
entities.
thing, I can tell you, I would not be surprised because I have seen more videos too. And I'm not trying to scare people. I don't think I'm a type of person to run around and scare people because I think we have dominion. I think that we have the ability and the power. And I lived in an extremely haunted house, including my partner being thrown 15 feet across the kitchen with nothing there. And believe me, he is one of the world's biggest skeptics still to this day. He didn't even tell me for 2 days because he had his electrical charge meter thing, checking all the fuses in the fridge. He was checking everything, but he flew across the kitchen. His arm was all cut up, and I know he's not going to lie to me about that. I've been burnt. I have been scratched. I have pictures I have released where I have a handprint on my chest here. I did not put that there. I was combing my hair in the mirror. I can tell you my partner has a bite. I don't release it to the public, but I have shared it on his upper flank up here. It is not human, and I have shared it with many people. It had pointy marks. There's no human being I know that can make that. I know my teeth aren't shaped that way, nor would I be biting him, even in a nightmare. We have had a lot of things. He almost died. Now, is this rare, or is this like something that happens often? No, but it can happen. And we've talked about this before. And I will agree that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now had I not gone through that experience. But the thing is, there are people out there that experience these things. So for me, I can't say to them, it doesn't exist. I can't, because I know I've been through this experience. And when you see people, like I shared with you actually from Paranormal Nightmare, and it was Josh, I talk about the Foreman brothers, and he said, we have done thousands and thousands and thousands of interviews of people. We've reviewed footage. He didn't even say it was an alien in the mall stuff, but he said from looking at the people in the interviews that he did have a peek at, because he kind of showed them quickly in the 8-minute clip, he said, these people, I believe them that they saw something. Hi, Kason. So whatever it is, I don't know. I know lots of people that have never experienced things like this, and I hope you never do. I don't know why we did. I did palliative care. I did palliative care in a very low vibrational, low economical place in my city. There was a lot of murder. There was a lot of RAPE. There was all kinds of stuff in that part that I did. And I was there at the bedside when somebody transitioned. Now, whether you believe people can have attachments or not, I don't know if somebody did or had something around it. I don't know if it followed me home, but I just know we've experienced it. So I can't say to people it doesn't exist. I'm not going to.
Oh no, that's why I was saying. That's why I call my thing the spirit experience. Everything I know about our experience. If I haven't experienced, I have to say I don't know that I believe in it or disbelieve in it. But the hospital one, to get back to that one, I thought that was pretty good. I liked it. Like I said, I saw everything, and what creeped me out the most was
here it is.
The shadows. Now the end of, did you see the end, the one after that with the two guys in seeing the dark figure? Now that one, I was looking at that one and I was shaking my head.
Why were you though?
That last one?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is I've watched enough videos where I know the formula that some people use as they're making the video. And it's a formula. That was somebody in a monk's robe. That's what it was. When I first watched it, I thought, okay, I can, the first one I watched, I'm like, okay, that's creepy. I see the dark shadow going back there because I've seen shadows like that. So I'm like, gotcha. And then they started going around and shaking the camera more. And I'm like, okay. And then they show it at the end. And then the way they talk to them, I'm like, okay, I lost credibility with you guys. I'm not saying it's not real. At that point I said, no, I need to have way more context on this video or there's no way I'm going to believe it. I'm subjected to a world, or we all are subjected to a world where people are showing 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute clips and saying, you have to believe this. The reason that I don't do this is because the same reason, like even in my NDE and when I saw certain past lives, that I have a problem with some religions, because 2-3 minutes of something is not proof that something exists. That's the only thing that happened to me.
Okay, so let's play devil's advocate and turn it around.
Yeah.
Let's turn it around for a minute.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I don't believe it.
You've seen a video of beautiful, miraculous things that are going on for 2 to 3 minutes, right? You know the beauty and the good and the positive energy exists. We do. But you haven't been there. You haven't seen it before. You see where I'm going with this? You get 2 to 3 minutes of a snapshot of something. So my thought is, and again, I'm so glad you prefaced the beginning of the show with what you did, Dave, the way you started it. I think people, you take what resonates with you and leave the rest. My theory is, unless it is absolutely ludicrous and is so obvious. I just seen a short, if you see me smiling while I was looking, somebody said Jinn caught riding on a horseback, and oh my God.
No.
Now, David, this is totally what you were saying about the hospital thing. Like, this is so obviously fake, you cannot miss how fake this is. So my theory is, regardless of what it is, because I've seen some crazy stuff that I never thought I would ever see or experience ever in this lifetime that most people don't talk about. I have the fact that I am open-minded. I'm not saying you're not open-minded, because you are. I'm saying I'm open-minded and trust enough that if there's something I see, I'm going to research it some more. There are many things we've talked about on the show that we need a lot more context, but sometimes you don't get it. So my trust, and I believe in, if I'm seeing something super weird that I am just not sure about it, I know or trust, again, I've said it 3 times, that the truth will prevail. The truth will come through. And
Oh, I know. I
Mhm.
am not against that. And I know things exist that are negative and positive, and I know those things exist. I'm talking about looking at a video someone is presenting to try to
Okay, so
give
I
me
turned it around, though. I turned it around. So
no,
what if
but they're trying to give me evidence of something that the rest of the world is trying to prove too. The evidence of something beautiful is always there. There's some beauty everywhere. You don't even need evidence. You can watch a 3-minute clip of everything and know that something's beautiful. Even if somebody showed me a 3-minute clip of a purple monkey with a horn on his head, I would go, well, it might be fake, but who knows? It's pretty. I love it. I'm watching it. But I'm talking about something that is being pushed on and presented to people on a large social platform. I'm showing you 3 minutes of this. You must believe me. And that's what I don't like. If they were to show it like
I said that in this.
if it was Nuke's top 5, he never says that. He never says. He
No, but
says,
you're
just
talking
like you
about
said.
the video after. I don't think the guys in the video said to people, though, you must believe.
Oh, no, they didn't. No, not the guys in the video. I'm talking about the guys showing the video at some point. But I'm not saying it didn't happen to those guys, but when I watched it, I'm like, I look at everything. I don't look at everything with uneducated. I have to look at everything through what I know, through my experiences. I mean, I died. I died and seen lots of crazy things that I can't prove to other people. But I can tell you this, from a content creator point of view, I've seen enough crappy videos that I'm like, what makes me more angry is that in the paranormal world and in the cryptid world and everything, if it's not got some kind of fear behind it, it's not going to get viral views because everybody wants to see the scary
Why do you
stuff.
think it's so popular, though? Because I think it's a safe space for people to feel fear too, right? They're not
No, that's why
people like horror movies.
Not in my view. I understand if somebody's watching something for entertainment. There's literally people out there who will fall for anything. I only say this because I do so many readings and I talk to people who come to me and they say the most nonsensical things. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You just told me that. And I believe anything. And it is always something weird that they heard from a doom and gloom psychic. They come on there and say, they told me I only had this much time to live and da-da-da-da, and that there's a ghost in my house and it's trying to kill me. And they really believe it.
Yeah, but that's why they found you, so that you could get them.
Oh, I know, but it sucks that somebody did that to them.
I feel where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's what I said. I believe videos. I love
videos. It's horrible to exploit people with fear and scare them. And I hear what you're saying, and I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's the only thing I worry about. I don't care if a video's fake or not, but I just get angry when I see so many of them because I'm like, oh my God, you have no clue what you guys are doing to some people. I love horror movies. Well, I used to. I love horror movies.
I don't like them.
But I never liked slasher movies. You know why?
Why?
Because slasher movies can happen.
Actually, you're right. But those are the ones, actually, after having worked on the locked ward at the psychiatric hospital as a student, I was so terrified after that because I thought it's a good thing ignorance really is bliss. It really is bliss, because there was people I had seen, because I used to work at the mall before I worked in the nursing home while I went through university for nursing. I'd seen them every day at the mall, and I had no idea that they were part of the locked ward. They've been sentenced there for life, but they've been there for 20 years, and they've been taking their meds and what have you. And so they were allowed a day pass every day.
Oh, my God. That's awful.
No,
Do
it
you
was,
like it?
and everybody deserves that chance. They do. But my point is, yeah, that's why psychological thrillers are very, they
Oh,
freak
they're very, yeah, people like that stuff. As long as you can see,
people
I
like
grew up in a,
it.
I have a really super cool mom and dad because of the fact, like I think I was telling you earlier, when I was watching horror
You do have a
movies when
cool
I
mom
was,
and dad.
yeah, I was watching horror movies and movies with nudity when I was 7, 8, 9 years old. My parents just told me the difference, so I never, but I will have to say this though. There is some things, what stuck with me out of scary movies watching? Well, Jaws,
Kevin
of course.
Bacon's song?
Kevin Bacon's song at the end of our bed. That's scary enough right there. It's like you'll be calling for Freddie. Freddie, come get me. There's a song here. Grossing me out.
And for those of you that are listening, hi, Betty Spaghetti's listening. I think we said hi, Diane, but if we didn't, we missed you. And Kaysen's here. No, if you're missing it, I got to throw this in, Dave, because we got some people who might not have been here before. The beginning of our show was pretty close, a couple months since the beginning of it, over a year ago, almost a year ago. And we were talking about, it's Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Is it Halloween?
Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street.
No. It's either Halloween or Friday the 13th because it's got
Kevin that we were doing the show on
with Jason in the lake at camp something.
You're absolutely correct. It is Friday the 13th.
Is it? Okay, so it's the first Friday the 13th movie. Do I have to pull that picture? Do I have to pull that picture up again? Anyways,
you can.
My partner Del he goes, "What do you mean you've never seen that?" I said, "I don't like horror movies. Like if I'm watching them, I'm like this and like peeking. I don't like them. I don't even like jump scares." Anyways, he goes, "You got to watch this." So I'm watching, and he's going. All of a sudden, I got my eyes covered because they're at the dock, and I'm waiting for something to jump out of the water. And Del goes, "Oh my God, you're going to say this?" And I go, "I don't want to see it." He goes, No, it's funny. He goes, "Check out Kevin Bacon's Speedo." And I look, I go, "What the heck is that?" And so I literally went and took a screenshot of this thing. Now, what was the consensus we had? Because we showed this on here, and I think it was
a dispenser, or it was square. It had corners.
It was a dispenser or a pack of old gum, like that was a long rectangle. It was definitely not human. What was in that Speedo? I can tell you that.
I know. His little Pikachu was like square or something.
Oh,
I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. You know why? No, I don't even know. I don't know why they came out. I think it's because Chelsea Handler calls the female part Pikachu. And as I was talking, it came out Pikachu. There's a Pikachu and a Pikachu.
I like those names. I have to remember that. So I think it was Nicole Thomas Ryan that came up. She was calling us the thong at the end of the bed for the next month. We could not
at the foot of the bed. Yeah. Oh,
so I found this video. So, I don't know how much we can play on here if YouTube will get mad at us. So we'll just try and Diane Banana. That's an old one and many other, but I hadn't heard Pikachu. So maybe what I'll do you want me to just try and go to where we get to?
This is a good one with this girl. It's a good one.
I know, but I don't know if they'll get YouTube doesn't like when we play.
Oh, go to the one that I was whining about.
Oh, well, we're right here. This is right here. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
On the big camera, actually, that's a lot clearer. That's not what I saw. Holy crap. I saw it on my phone. We got to see this. We have to. Okay, so guys, I'm going to make this bigger so you can see. So you see this mirror, the whole thing, how it's convex, is it? Convex pointing out?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I moved it. Sorry, guys. I used my fingers here. Let me go back to that. This is a full-blown guy in here. Holy crap.
Oh, no, that's just part of it. I know what you're saying. That's not the ghost that they're looking at.
Are you sure?
Yeah. That was something. They were talking behind that one. I know that because I watched it twice and I caught that too.
He's in the mirror.
You'll see it why they showed that.
Quite a few. There's one right there. Okay. Hang on, we'll play it, and then I don't know if I can make it bigger. This is YouTube, you guys, so hang on. I gotta turn the volume on.
Corner. This is an important detail. corner of each hall for safety.
Sorry, guys, it's not going to let me make it bigger. I'm trying to here, but it won't.
It's pretty good. It's and where do I
Recording?
watching it?
No,
Just got better.
Hang on.
Hey, it's Dana.
Yes, I know it's Dana from StreamYard, but we don't want to talk to you right now, Dana from StreamYard. No, I don't want to go premium. What the heck? Where are we here? I hope this didn't fast forward on me. Hang on. No, I think we're in the same. Are we in the right one, Dave? Does it look familiar to you? There we are. There she is.
Oh, yeah, we know her hair. Because you know why? Because I thought her hair was really cool.
Yeah, she's got beautiful hair.
Or at least it's supposed to be.
I have
It's hard to see.
been like working here in a hospital in Maine for about 6 to 7 months. And I didn't believe in the ghost stories that have been going around because I'm just not superstitious like that. And basically, like I just ignored it. And then some weird stuff started happening, like hearing noises and seeing things, and the craziest things I've seen and heard.
The hospital uses angle dome mirrors in the corner of each hall for safety. These mirrors reflect 90 degrees, showing you who or what is in the hallway around the corner. This is an important detail because Kimberly and her coworkers claim that they started seeing strange things in these mirrors.
You're right about that guy, Dave. Thank you.
What
You're
the
welcome. Yeah, I watched it twice. That's how I know.
language.
Who is standing down that hallway? Oh,
In the safety mirror, Kimberly sees the chilling reflection of a dark figure standing in the opposite hallway. But when she goes to check, nothing there.
hey guys, it's Kimberly Winchester coming right back at you, going to the corner where I recorded the video. So basically the ghost would be like standing right up in this area, and I was recording over here. What the
Now, Kimberly sees the bizarre dark figure down the other hallway. Cut to another night, and Kimberly and a coworker see something, but this time it's not in a mirror.
Green Shannon, you can back me up on this one.
Bestie and me in my haunted section. Ooh, it's scary. Okay, let's get it.
Whoa.
Dude, what the is that, bro? Dude, who the is that? Dude, are you shitting me? Are you playing a joke on me? What the is that?
I'm going to pause this.
Dude, who the is that? Oh my god, we gotta go. Dude, like, what the is that, bruh? Like,
I'm going to pause it till she's done her language there because they won't like that on here. So I know they bleeped it, but
where, what? Where?
she's still yapping. Hang on.
Who's who's doing this? Huh? Huh?
We did bleep most of it. So.
Anybody? Dude.
Now, this could have simply been an intruder or someone roaming the hospital halls. But by far, the most chilling and bizarre clip of the alleged mirror shadow figures was captured by one of Kimberly's coworkers.
Ew.
Now, the shadow figures can be explained away easily enough, or it could simply be a hoax. But I personally have absolutely no idea what this thing might be. So if you have a theory, please let me know down in the comments.
On my phone, it looked like
in this video, Jordanian explorers Hassan Barbar.
I knew you didn't see that thing because there was no cut in that thing. Oh,
not a cut.
God.
The only thing, if I had to sit here and say, David, come up with an explanation that might work, I can't, except for this.
It's the cockroaches
on there. That's the only other thing I would say. But yeah, no, there wasn't a cut. I take that back. That I did not see a cut in this. It looked like it on my phone.
I have, like, they've gone down like that thing. And again, did it come from another portal? Was it overgrown cockroaches? I don't know what that thing was. But
or is there an explanation? We don't know. There's
I will tell you, and Shannon is a nurse too. And she says, how can people working in healthcare not expect to see things? And she is right.
I know. You work in a building where souls are constantly going in and out and in and out and in and out. I mean, there's got to be something in there. Yeah.
I told you I'm writing 3 books, and one of them I am collecting the stories of nurses and some first responders. It was Julie Jean Bassett, when she was on my show, she suggested, I think it's a great idea. It's a terrible name, but death doulas. And I would love to do that if my back ever heals enough that I can do it. You help people transition from this lifetime to going back home, as I call it, and provide for many of their needs that need to be met as they're transitioning in the family. We see so many incredible, unexplained, miraculous, not scary, miraculous positive things when people leave that are unexplainable. So I'm collecting those stories. Oh, so okay, this is interesting. So Faye said she thought it looked like a bat to her.
That's what I thought. It looked like a bat or a moth or something on the bottom.
Yes,
I mean, it
big.
could have been there too. Yeah, it's too big for a moth, unless
It was Mothra. It was Mothra. Mothra was
could
coming.
Be Mothman. Where were they?
Yeah, Mothra was coming for the actual checkup. So Jackie Lane, aren't mirrors portals? They have been proposed to be, and I have seen an experience. I have a crazy story. Again, if I hadn't lived it, someone had told me, I would have told them they were full of BS. And it involved a mirror. And it involved somebody that I knew very well, not my family member, didn't live in my country, that was levitating on camera, swear to God to you, and was not there. It is a crazy, crazy story. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Constantine, but that mirror that they use at the beginning of Constantine, that's how big this mirror was. And they'd forgotten it was under their bed. They were having all kinds of activity. And I swear to God to you, I am not making this up. When they pulled this mirror out, I just about died, because in the center of it, anything could have cracked it. Yep. It was cracked like something had shot out of it, like a bullet hole, not in, out, and all 4 corners on the mirror were cracked right to the center, or whatever was in there. That was a crazy story. I do have a witness to what happened about what I saw, not the levitation, but the rest of it and what I went through, because I was thinking with the time change, it was about 3:30 my time. And I'm thinking, who do I know that's going to be online that's awake? This was in my old house. I've seen some crazy, 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 crazy stuff. Now, is it common? No. Do I deal with this? Maybe, and I don't want to sound egotistical, but maybe there's a reason. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm seeing it. Because a lot of people that do the work that Dave and I do, I can honestly say this, Dave, most people I've met don't run into this kind of stuff. Or like you said in previous shows many times, with your paranormal investigation, and people get a bad rap. There's a history that's created within a certain place, or people call it a demon house and stuff. And then when you get to talk to the spirits that are there, right, that it's not quite still like the game of telephone.
Not like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anything we can, like I always gave the old story. If I laid on my bed right now and closed my eyes and left here, and somebody came and say a neighbor found me, and then he tells the story. Yeah, he was in there. It looks like he OD'd on something, and maybe I just had a heart attack. And then he tells the next person. It becomes a big game of telephone. Next thing you know it, I was bludgeoned to death with an axe 15 times in the head. And then that gets handed down over and over. Then when people ever come over here, they come over here with that fear and that knowledge, and they leave that in the house. Energy can build up someplace. And then everybody's going to come into that house now and see it for this demon house. And it's like Lorilei and I talk about Topa. You put something out there enough, it's going to happen, or it's going to be. The energy's at least going to be there, I guess.
Same as with Mothra, what we're talking about in that hospital, though. We don't know what that is. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen drawings that some people draw for fantasy drawings and things like that. Like, where did that... Like, just the thoughts they must be, and I'm not being judgmental, but the thoughts they got to be having in their head to be or nightmares or whatever it is, to put to paper some of these horrific, creepy looking things. So that's what I'm saying. Like, human beings don't all run around in love and light. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good human beings out there. But there are people out there, for whatever reason, are not thinking those things, and they do not realize how powerful their thoughts, their words, and their emotions are. That, and I mean, we could do a whole show about that. There's a reason why spelling is called spelling. There's a reason why when you're hoping to use the law of attraction and you add an emotion with it that's positive, which is powerful. But if you write it down or you create a vision board that you're speaking about it and you're looking at it, that it's so much more powerful. It's because we are powerful as human beings. We have never been taught to realize that or know that. I really believe that. Mm-hmm.
And once you're not powerful, and once you're not a human being, you're even more powerful.
That exactly. So when I said I believe that you have dominion, I believe that you have the power and you have the tools and you have you have guides, you have angels, you have all these people around you. I don't wish this on anybody running into anything spooky or scary. But remember, you are powerful, not from a egotistical sense, but I believe we have dominion. And I believe that there's lower astral realms where some of this energy might go to. It does not belong here. It doesn't. You can tell it to go back to where it came from. It's not quite that easy, but you know what I mean.
I don't know what that means.
Where was I? Kaysen was talking about, I think I missed some comments here. I apologize, guys. So I was rapping. Okay, so Ken said it was hard to tell what was on his cell. So those of you that just popped in, we're going to tell you, we finally got our group going. So we got, I think today we just sort of made it public. Somebody found it on their own, first person. But how many people we got, Dave? 35? Like when we just released about an hour or two before.
I think it's over 40 now. I don't know how many people are in there.
It's called.
I'll tell you now.
Okay. It's called The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. And so these videos that we're showing on here, because we know most people, like 80% of our global audience is audio only. So we're going to start posting the videos in there for you guys, and you can chat in there. We want to see if you've got pictures you want to share or video, you want to ask questions, you want to chat, you want to, anything you want to do in there that's has to do with the show. We were promising it and we've created it for you. So it's a safe space. It's a private group. We only kept it that way. We went back and forth because we want people to feel safe, that if you do have a question, you don't want just anybody out there that can see anything. And, you know, sometimes you get some trolls, and we're doing everything we can to keep it a safe, positive space. So we hope you'll join us over there on Facebook.
I think it's 36. I thought there was more for some reason.
That's okay.
Oh, it's 30 when we started. But yeah, just so you guys know, you can go in there and maybe the videos that we showed tonight that you can't see, if you want to join that group, you can see that video in there. Are you going to post it in there? I should ask you before I join. Okay. I'm sorry, Lorilei. I'm sitting here telling like, hey, you guys can look for this. In the meantime, Lorilei's scrambling, going, damn, David, now I got to find everything.
No, well, that's what happened though. So Dave and I were chatting all day today, off and on through voice messaging. And then I went, oh crap, we got a show to do tonight. Because I'd started the group about, was it a week or two ago? But And Dave's been super, super busy with what he's got going on. And I thought, you know what, I'll just start it. And I thought that way, if one of us gets a chance, I'll pop in there. And then I thought, if we talk about it tonight, we won't have anything really, really set up. So that's why we got it all set up. And you guys can share stuff in there too. Because
like I said at the beginning of the show, if you were if you go in that group, you can let us know things you want us to talk about, things you want us to research. You can ask us questions as mediums and spiritual people. We both do different things than the other people do. So we have a nice wide range of when we can point you in the right direction if you want to know what we do and give you tips on how to learn something. I know in my group, I just posted 3 mediumship tips for everybody in my group. Maybe I should put them in here, but it didn't really follow the format.
You can if you want. I've been posting a lot of freebie stuff that I've been seeing that's out there because I've had a lot of people ask me about mentorship. And rather than, it's pretty expensive to mentor with one person one-to-one, right? Because you want to be there for the other person. Mm-hmm. I've got lots of free resources. So you guys want to see stuff like that? That's fine too. Or I know you guys send us stuff sometimes during a show. So if there's stuff you want us to talk about on a show, you can share it in there, whatever you like. We've got such a great group of people.
By all means, to our audience listening and to our audience here, if you are a spiritual person or a paranormal person and you want to learn more about it, you can't afford to take classes and all that stuff, don't worry about it. You can ask us in that group. And like Lorilei said, we will point you towards great alternative things that are of no cost to you at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then
we'll answer it. Like
stuff.
we've answered it. We do not everything we charge for. We do lots of free stuff.
I mean, Lorilei and I will answer any questions you want, but I mean, if there's certain training you want in something, neither of us know how to do it. We'll find it for you. We'll help you find it.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, Kaysen was said, so I think it was Diane Brighton. She said her last movie she watched was The Da Vinci Code. Actually, I rewatched that whole series. When was it? A couple months ago. I don't usually watch movies. And then the other movies I watched that I thought were absolutely insane the first time it came out was it just went out of my mind here. The Matrix. I don't know why. Sorry, I wasn't stuck there. I was thinking, what was it? I can see the green numbers going down. What is it? Keanu Reeves. So I've been watching that too. Sometimes it's cool to go back, and makes a lot more sense to me now. But the Da Vinci Code, I seriously believe, and I connect with two other ladies. They were on New Year's Day with me. I think Dan Brown must have channeled some of that stuff that he got. I swear to God, because it's a pretty interesting story, boy.
That's good, yeah.
So anyways, I keep stopping at Kaysen. He said the last movie I watched was 12 Hours to Midnight. And he loves it.
Never heard of it.
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it. And then he says, I like Black Swan. Like movies the best. Pure psychological suspense. And Kaysen, I hate those. I don't do well sitting still anyways. But I just, even though if I know what's going to happen in the movie, I really, really, really dislike jump scares, and I really, really dislike suspense. It's like, just get it over with. Like, you're going to chop someone's head off, do it now.
There are only, since my NDE, which I hate to bring it up, but that's always my starting point nowadays. Since that, I have literally, which is 8 years ago, almost 9, I have only watched 3 movies all the way through.
Thanks, Ken joined.
And you'd be surprised at the movie. Paul was one of them. I watched the entire thing of Paul.
It was a cute movie, Paul.
It was a cute movie. I like silly, cute movies with a funny message. Hey, nothing is funnier than E.T. Smoking it up around a campfire. I thought that was hilarious.
It was a funny movie. I want to put it out there, you guys. I invited people that I was trying to remember people that are here in the audience. I am maxed out. So if anybody hears this, Facebook won't let me add anymore. I guess they're afraid I'm going to spam people. So that's why we're pushing the group. So just send us a quick invite. And there's 3 quick questions. It's just, you know what? It keeps the bots out and it keeps the trolls out. So that's why they're not.
And by the way, you guys, nobody in that group, nobody outside the group knows anything about the group, so it's very private for you guys. All your information is not out there, and we make sure everybody's good.
Well, I missed comments here. Faye said the Da Vinci Code was awesome. It was. And then Diane said, I don't know, she said deep story. I don't know if she was talking about 12 Hours to Midnight. Do you know what I've never watched before, but I was hooked over Christmas? Like, I had to watch it while I was crafting. I kept seeing everywhere, is Die Hard a Christmas movie or isn't it? And so I watched the whole series. I've never watched it. I was hooked. I was hooked on Die Hard. Die Hard? Oh, Die Hard.
Never saw Die Hard. I actually never saw the Da Vinci Code, and I never saw The Secret.
David, have you read the book, The Da Vinci Code?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. I got goosebumps. You haven't seen it.
The only reason why, and I'm sure it's a good book. There's no like reason I haven't, but I study Hermetics and I study, the Kabbalion and all that stuff, which is what the Da Vinci Code is. It's the same thing. But I would like to, I didn't not see it because I'm think it's beneath me. I just never came across the chance to see it yet. And then the fact that I'm like you, I can't sit still for more than 10 minutes without
but that's what happens to me, right? So if I got to be doing something while I'm crafting or doing whatever. So I got something.
I should start crafting and maybe I can watch a damn movie. But if I just sit here and watch the movie,
I'll fall asleep.
I will eventually start doing something else. I'll play with my cards or I'll start typing or I'm like, okay, I lost.
Or I'll fall asleep because if I haven't had much sleep, like I have to keep moving. So I have not seen Black Swan.
Shannon hasn't either.
That's supposed to be a good movie. He said, best Natalie Portman movie. Shannon says, do you guys read the responses for the Facebook group? It just started, Shannon. Then we went live. We haven't had a chance, but we will try to. Yes. We have other groups, like David has the Spirit Experience where he's streaming. I have 2 other groups, plus people have added me as admins and mods to other groups that I have found since. So I have quite a few groups to do stuff with, but we do try to get in there and read it. So we'll check. I'm sure there's something funny that Shannon
we'll try to go in there and read them. We just started it today, and we're going to pretty much kind of run it ourselves for a little bit until it gets busy, and then
I think it'll be fine. So Diane says Da Vinci Code has a twist from the other. It does, but it has if you're into it, and I am, I love code breaking. I love symbology and things like that. So that's why I like the Da Vinci Code. Now, the second one, Angels and Demons, that really doesn't have a lot to do with that, but it kind of does, I guess. But that one wasn't my favorite. The third one was a little bit fashioned after, I think it was called Inferno, after Dante's Inferno. But the reason why I like these movies is they get into a lot of the symbology and the history and things like that. That's why I like it. See, for fun, if I ever do get a chance, like say we're in the car and we're going on a long ride or something, I absolutely love cryptograms, and cryptograms, especially cryptograms families. So they give you a code, and they're supposed to spell out words, but you have to figure out, like say in a cryptogram family, shows from the 1970s, they'll just put that. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a bunch of jumble, and you have to figure out what the code is. So say if there's like YZE, blah, 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 every Y will equal a letter. Every Z or Z will equal a letter, and you have to figure that out. I love stuff like that. So Da Vinci Code.
What is, and let's talk about movies, because people always ask, what kind of movies do people like Lorilei and I watch? What was the movie? Do you remember a movie where Alanis Morissette had a very small part and she played God at the end? What was the name of that movie?
Ben Affleck.
Alan Rickman was
that
in
was
it.
With Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Dogma, I think it was called.
Dogma. What a good movie. That was just a fun movie. I mean,
Alan Rickman was in Die Hard.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And Alan Rickman was also in the movie we just talked about. I love Alan Rickman.
Well, he's no longer with us, though.
I know. Well, he is me because I'm a medium, so I'd probably look him up if I need to, but I don't know. Did you ever do that? Did you ever do that? And people ask me this, so I'm going to ask it for everybody who asks. Do we ever talk
so I'm going to tell you, I connect with a famous scientist on the other side, and there is a former very famous movie star.
That you connect to?
I do connect to.
Mine is a very famous philosopher, and he's done more than that. He's an expert in dreams. I've connected to him, and that was purely by accident. That was cool. Movie stars, I haven't done it. I don't seek it, because I've had people say
I didn't seek either one of these either.
Yeah, and exactly. And you know what? I'm going to say that. Isn't that the best thing when you don't seek it? Because then it's more validating then.
Okay, but you know what I've explained, and now we're just jumping into a great topic, and we've got some time, but not a lot of time, and I've explained this to many people, that when you run into a movie star or somebody or royalty or whoever it is, once they go back home, or if you want to say leaving this planet, they're no bigger or better than anybody else.
Yeah,
we're all a part of each other. It was a role they played in this lifetime. So, of course, we all do this, myself included. We all do when we see someone famous or somebody huge, right? And we put them up on a pedestal, but that's not who they are on the other side. No. They're all love, and they know that. Each one of us, especially with the amount of lifetimes, has probably been a king or a queen, and we've been what we would judge to be in this human life, the worst of the worst too. We have been it all. And it was just their turn in this lifetime, while you had your kick at the can here, that they happened to be famous, right?
Oh, yeah. This is my worst trend. You guys, I'm going to sound like just a big, mean naysayer, and I'm really not. I'm just very, very particular about things in the spiritual world. I hold the spiritual world to me is like it's it needs to be taken. It's very precious to me. But anyway, what was I going to tell you? When this is what killed me. When a movie star dies and all of a sudden 50 mediums will come out going, oh, I'm channeling this person. I'm channeling that. I'm like, really? How important do you think out of 7 billion souls on this planet and all that, what makes you think they want to come talk to you? You know, it's,
it goes back to the beginning of our show that when you watch it, you got to see if it resonates with you or doesn't.
But I don't deal with, channelers who channel movie stars 3 seconds after they died. I mean, professionally. I mean, at home, I've gotten stuff by ones who just died. I didn't channel them for anybody. I would just sit here and chat, and then I would try to go look up the information to see if my chat was a lie. So I even go validate myself, you guys. But no, there's I think I had 20 billion people ask me, oh, can you go ask John Benet Ramsey what happened? I'm like, no. Why would I do that? Leave her alone.
Ken Stocka says on one group we talked to John Lennon, and John Lennon was a wise man in this lifetime that he left. So cool. And Diane Brighton says she calls that ego channeling. And Nicole Thomas Ryan says, I have a few movie stars I'd like to connect with. Heath Ledger is one. So yeah, Nicole, you know what? Maybe try it tonight. You just a suggestion I'm hearing from Spirit. Maybe if you get a chance, just look up free resources. Pop in a 5-minute heart chakra meditation. Just that. Then before you go to sleep, say, Heath, I'd really like to connect with you. See if you have a dream. See if you can connect with them tonight.
Or something. Yeah, it is true. I mean, if you're at home and you want, there's certain people. You know how I talk to Jesus? Mm-hmm. I just said, "Are you around? Can we chat?" And then over time, I started getting these stuff in until the validations came in. I'm like, they're even validating who they are. That's awesome. I mean, literally, you can ask somebody who's a movie star, not that they go by that name anymore, but they still remember the role they play, and they can step into that at any point and talk to you if you can. I do agree with you, Diane, ego channeling. There's a lot of that goes around. And granted, it's not everybody, because I have heard spirit box sessions where famous people have come in on spirit boxes. And granted, you can validate it. You can ask questions. You can ask, I will use a spirit box session with a movie star the same way I would do my control questions for a divination. It's the same thing. It's just ask the control questions.
Website I loved in YouTube channel. She doesn't do it so much anymore. I noticed she's going more into, I think it's Scalar Atlantis, is channeling Eric with Elisa Medhus. And I loved when she used to bring Jamie Butler in. Jamie Butler is amazing, but she had 5 children, and her 3rd child, Eric, had severe, what did he have? Bipolar and Tourette's and stuff. Anyways, very unexpectedly, he unalived himself. And the family was atheist. His mom's a cardiologist or internal medicine specialist. I think his dad was an engineer. She came from a family of doctors. They were all, not that doctors are atheists, all of them, but she was an atheist. She was very scientifically based. And after he passed, he started showing up in the strangest of ways. And then when her father called her, he was over in Europe, and her father was very staunch and a very serious physician type man. And he said, I think I'm going crazy. And she said, why, Dad? And he said, because 5 minutes before I've just called you, I've just seen Eric show up looking like he would have as a 4-year-old little boy. And he went and sat on my knee and kissed me on the cheek and said, hi, Papa, I love you. And stuff like that started happening. So Elisa, in her grief, just couldn't believe that that was the end. There was nothing else. Long story short, she started connecting with a medium by the name of Jamie Butler and connecting with Eric on the other side and doing interviews with famous people, good people, not so good people. She never took a penny from people. She paid for it out of her own pocket. She has received so much flack about this. So I always say to people when I tell them about it that take a look, see what you think, see how you feel about it. She asked me at one time if I wanted to do it, be a guest medium, and I just didn't feel comfortable with it, but it's a cool way to look at it if you want to see. There might even be, Nicole, an interview with Heath Ledger. I wouldn't be surprised if there is. See what you think, especially if it's a favorite movie star and you know them well, right? See what's said. It's worthwhile. Check it out. Something to suggest. You guys, we only have about 2 minutes left. And Ken, yes, you are right. Movie stars are just normal people.
They are. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Ken also said we all play roles, and that's exactly what it is. It is true, and I know that even from my near death, we're all just playing a part. I say you are way more than who you are right now. Trust me, you are way more than who you are.
I say we all wear masks. We wear a work mask, a home mask. Wear a mother mask. I wear a psychic medium, spiritual light worker mask. I wear a partner mask, meaning our wife mask. I mean, we wear so many different masks, and we just don't realize because we do treat people differently depending on who we're with and who we're around, right? They're all just.
When you said that, when you're talking about wearing a mask, a Family Guy episode just popped in my head with Stewie. where Stewie gets his face painted like a kitty.
Yes. Oh my God. We're almost out of time. We will end on this comment. So yes. Kathy Hanley says we're all in a movie, but Kaysen said there's a YouTuber who claims talking to literally anyone. The Buddha, Christ, Hitler, Michael Jackson, all the archangels, etc. I don't know if I can believe that or not. My advice to you would be have a listen. And after you've listened, ask yourself, how do you feel? Because there's something else to consider. Maybe they're not channeling who they say they are. Maybe they're channeling, you never know if you believe in ET or something, but if it's a benevolent and positive message that resonates with you, does it really matter who it comes from if it makes you feel good and it helps raise your energy and vibration?
Yeah, there are some people who will put a name behind it but like Lorilei said, if you hear anything that makes you go, and puts you in a positive direction, it really doesn't matter where it came from. It really doesn't.
Sorry, we had a cookie debacle here. So I have to deal with that right now.
There's a fudge stripe at the foot of my bed.
Yes. No, my youngest son, we had subs, and they make homemade cookies, and he looked like he was in tears, and so I had to mute myself. I said, "What's wrong?" And he ate my partner's cookie. I said, "Oh, who cares?" Don't worry.
Who cares?
That's what I said.
I gave you permission. Go steal your mom's cookie too, Justin.
Yeah, I already gave him my cookies. So
good.
It's not the end of the world. He only eats 6 foods. So if he's going to eat a homemade cookie, you know what? Enjoy it. Life's too short not to eat cookies.
That's right. So you guys, thank you so much. Yeah, sorry, thank you. That was right. Exactly what you're asking me to say. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Please follow us on our Facebook group, the thing at the foot of the bed. You can follow my other Facebook group and my YouTube channel, which is both called The Spirit Experience. If you want to know more about me or get a reading or just read my blogs, you can go to my website, thewhispertome.com. Lorilei or I never, ever, ever DM people and offer readings to you. We do not solicit our readings. The only way you can get hold of us is through how we're telling you right now. So look me up on Instagram at Medium David Hanzel, TikTok at Medium David Hanzel. I'm the one with 95,000 followers now. And that's it. Lorilei, take it away.
Okay, everybody, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please stay tuned for the second night of The Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. That's coming up right next. And like Dave said, please come join us over on the thing at the foot of the bed. I will try to remember the things we talked about. If I forget to, remind us when we read the comments, Shannon. I know, Shannon, so I can
Yes.
tease you like that. If you ever want to get a hold of me, I mean, want to book a reading, I do Akashic Records. I do, what else do I do? Crystal Reiki. I also do mentoring. You can get a hold of me on facebook.com/The Angel Rock. I am on every social media platform you can think of, even Threader to The Angel Rock, The Angel Rock 1508. I have 2 groups on Facebook as well, Paranormal University for all things paranormal, Angel Rock Drive for all things type of spiritual. We love you all. We're so grateful that you're here. And I will see you on Monday. I'm trying to think who I'm having on Monday. I thought it was Faye, because Faye Ewing, who's in the chat, she's got Faye's Angels. They've got 2 other shows, Latino Psychic.
Oh, that's cute. Faye's Angels. That's cute.
Isn't it cute? And then they've got This Box for You. So Faye had me on Tuesday on her show. So she's coming on the Angel Rock, but it's not this Monday, which is every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. It's the following Monday, but she's going to join me over there too, you guys. So you want to check it out. So stay spooky. And are you ready for it, Dave? Are we going to do it?
Yeah, let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What's at the foot of your We're ready. All right,
one of these days, we're just not going to do that and just give away a damn reading.
That's right. All right, you guys, we love you. We'll stay tuned for Amelia and Michelle, and we'll see you on my own here on Monday. Otherwise, we will be back, same space, same time next Thursday. Tell us what's at the foot of your bed. Okay, talk to you later.